Good afternoon. Welcome to the R2 Digital Library Top 10 eBooks from 2018. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend time with us and learn about the top 10 eBooks of 2018 that were released onto the R2 Digital Library. Your host today are myself. I'm Jason Hafer. I'm the manager of e-content and e-platform support at Rittenhouse, so I work primarily with the R2 Digital Library. And I have with me Nicole Gallo, who is the executive director of sales and marketing. A few housekeeping points to mention before we get the session started. We do record this in all of our sessions and make them available via the Rittenhouse YouTube channel. We have probably about, I'd say, 30 webinars up there now and some how-to videos for the R2 platform. So it's a pretty robust selection of content there for you. We do mute the audio during the presentation for participants, but we do have time at the end for question and answers, and you can submit any questions that you have via the dashboard tool. There's a question section on the dashboard tool. What we're going to do today is review the top 10 ebooks released on the R2 platform in 2018, and we will also announce a special offer on these titles. Before we get started, though, I do want to thank everybody that is currently using R2. Without your usage and the data that we've gathered relative to the content that we offer on the platform, we really couldn't do this presentation without you. If you're not currently using R2, I hope that taking a look at some of the resources that are available on the platform will give you insight into the fact that really the content selection that we offer is, as it's specialized in the health sciences, is really available nowhere else. So we're pretty proud of it and hope that this is informative for you. As we put together the list of the top 10 ebooks, we had a lot to choose from. We released hundreds of books in 2018, as we do every year. There are currently about 5,500 ebooks on the platform from about 90 different health sciences publishers. Looking at the books that were released in 2018, we use data analysis, which the platform provides. There are many reporting features and tools that are available to users and admins on the platform. So that's really what we use to put together this list. The most important data pieces, we did look at licenses sold, which is that's really the only sales number that we looked at. But probably more important we looked at the actual usage, so content retrievals, turnaways, resource sharing, cost per use is a stat that we provide that we feel is a really good measure as to how content is being used, and then also PDA views are something that we looked at as well. Okay, so we're going to get onto it and discuss the top ebooks of 2018. I forgot to mention in the beginning too, so typically these sessions are about 25 minutes long with about 5 minutes at the end for question and answers. We'll probably get you out of here a little bit sooner than that today. But on to the 2018 top ebooks in no particular order. The first one is Hale's Medication of Mother's Milk. This was published by Springer Publishing, and this is the first time that Springer Publishing has had the rights to this book. Previously, it was published by Hale, and it was every other year it published. I believe that now it will be published annually. So this was actually on our list last year too. This is a top seller in 2018. It's a current, complete, and evidence-based selection of information on the transmission of maternal drugs into human milk. Excuse me, I'm just going to dock my panel. This is the 18th edition of this text. It covers over 1,300 drugs, diseases, vaccines, and syndromes. The 2019 edition that we've selected here includes 39 completely new and 331 updated medications, and this is also a Duty's Core Title essential purchase for the 2019 edition, and I believe this has consistently been on that list as well. The next book is Guidelines for Perioperative Practice from Aorn. This is what we call a triple crown title. This was a leader in content retrievals, cost per use, and licenses purchased. This is no real surprise. We've had this book on the platform. It's an annual publication. We've had it on the platform for about 6 or 7 years now, and it consistently ranks amongst the top titles in all of those metrics every year. It provides 32 evidence-based guidelines for all perioperative and invasive procedures. As I mentioned, it is an annual publication, and every year that we've had the R2 Top 10, I believe it has been included. Accrediting bodies and state health agencies use this during their surveys and making implementation of these guidelines critical to patient and workplace safety, managing risk, and survey readiness. And this is also a Duty's Core Title. I want to point out, as we discussed AORN, the R2 Digital Library offers an unequal selection of ebooks from top nursing associations. So this not only includes AORN, but also the American Nurses Association, Infusion Nurses Society, ASPAN. We have the ASPAN standards, which are actually going to be released next week, and AWAN, and many other societies and professional organizations specifically in nursing. So we also have related to that, we have an extensive selection of standards and guidelines produced by these associations, and we also do offer a special collection on the R2 platform that has 49 ebooks specifically covering standards and guidelines of nursing. As always with R2, when you order titles or add them to PDA, it's one click so that you can instantly add content to the platform. So these are ones that we see typically when they're released. People want to get them out to their audience as soon as possible. The next book is from the American System of Health Pharmacy. This is Basic Concepts in Medicinal Chemistry. It's a leader in cost per use and turnaways. So this is a book that when it was added to collections, it really got used. The cost per use on this was very attractive, and as were the demand locally with the turnaways. It's the second edition of a very popular textbook. This edition was enhanced with new subject material, self-assessment tools, and other special features to advance and strengthen the learning process. And there's a distinct focus on application of concepts to therapeutic decisions and pharmacy practice. So ASHP has been on R2 for many years, and consistently their titles really stand out in both cost per use and demand at the local level. The next, this is really a healthcare finance classic. This is published by Health Administration Press. The book is titled Healthcare Finance, An Introduction to Accounting and Financial Management. This is also a leader in content retrievals and cost per use and turnaways. It's the 6th edition. This is authored by Kopinski, who is Health Admin Press's all-star author. They bill him as the most trusted name in healthcare finance, and he authors several titles for them. This introduces readers to the basic concepts of healthcare finance, including accounting and financial management. This book is also a Duties Core title, and I think one trend that we really saw this year on the R2 platform was health administration content really had a great year, so it's no surprise to see a book like this on the list. But between Health Administration Press, what Jones and Bartlett publishes in the health administration area, and then although AHIMA isn't exactly health administration, they're kind of in that world, we see usage on that content just really skyrocketing. And as we've added additional content in that subject area, I think it's created a really nice content selection. Another association standout here, this is from the American Public Health Association. This is Londeman's Public Health Management of Disasters, the Practice Guide. This is leader in cost per use. This book is a comprehensive resource providing a thorough foundation of public health's permanent role and responsibility in emergency management. So this includes guidance from the National Preparedness Goal, the National Health Security Strategy, and the National Response Framework. This book is also a Duties Core title. So again, we see, one thing that we're certainly seeing is that from the associations, they're what people want in terms of, they're the content experts. So a book like this, nobody really better to publish it than the APHA. And I'll mention too that association content on R2 really is kind of a foundational aspect of the platform. The platform hosts content from about 90 different healthcare content producers. So this is not only commercial publishers, but many associations and professional societies. Association content consistently ranks high in cost per use and content retrievals when it's added to a collection. In 2018, we always add new content every year. I'd say the two key additions from the association standpoint were we brought the American Diabetes Association on the platform, and also the AJCC Cancer Staging Manual was released a couple months ago. Next, we have from F.A. Davis, Mobility and Context, Principles of Patient Care Skills. This is a turnaway leader, so we saw, once again, when this book was included in collections, the demand locally was very high, causing content turnaways. This helps readers navigate confidently in both common and complex clinical situations. It teaches how to help patients progress toward greater mobility and independence. And a great thing about this book, and I think really one of the key things about this book, is there's 750 full color photographs and illustrations make these concepts very, very clear. R2 does provide all of the images in a resource just along with the resource when it's purchased. So there are millions and millions of images hosted by the R2 platform. And this is really a key point of this book. So we're happy to have them there. And this book is also a duty core title. We have the first of two books from Jones & Bartlett here. We have Essentials of Environmental Health. This is Leader in Cost Per Use. It is the third edition of the clear and comprehensive study of the major topics of environmental health. This third edition does include the most recent findings on Ebola and Zika, and it's designed for the beginning student as well as the experienced health professional. So once again, this is also a duty core title. And as I said, that was the first of two books from Jones & Bartlett. The next one is the 2018 Nurses Drug Handbook. This is very popular in PDA, so when this book was added to PDA collections, I think this had the highest number of access points via PDA of any title on the platform. It's up-to-date, practical, and easy to use nursing drug reference. Drug references are typically popular on R2, but this book is consistently among the top. It's an annual publication, and it features concise and consistently formatted drug entries organized alphabetically, and this is also a duty core title essential purchase. I did mention that it was very popular in PDA, so just to recap what that means on the R2 platform, we do offer patron-driven acquisition. Libraries can add any active title to a patron-driven collection. Your users will get 3 access uses at no cost to the library, and at that point the book is triggered and moved to your shopping cart. The key thing about our PDA program is that there's no automatic purchase. So once the book is moved to the shopping cart, the admin on the account decides whether or not that book should be purchased. You can add by title by title, or one-offs essentially, or you can add entire special collections such as that nursing standards and guidelines that I mentioned. We do have a replenishment tool, so if you know that you always want every nursing duty score title that's released on the platform, we have a tool that will continuously add those to your PDA collection, so you don't have to manually go in and do that. And this really allows you to expand your offerings with no risk or upfront cost. So that's just our PDA program in a nutshell. The next book, we have 2 more. This is The Insider's Guide to Graduate Programs in Clinical and Counseling Psychology. This is published by Guilford Press. This was a leader in cost per use. So again, when we saw this book purchased, it was a leader in cost per use, at each institution. And when I say leader in cost per use, we're looking at platform-wide, and every book that meets that criteria that we included on the list was under $1 in terms of cost per use. So it is that's pretty compelling. This title provides profiles of more than 300 graduate clinical and counseling psychology programs. It has expert advice for choosing and getting into the right program. And it incorporates profiles of 8 additional programs as well as the latest information on GRE prep, student loans, and more. So that's the second to last title. And the one we're going to wrap up with is another gold standard, and this one happens to be free as well. This is the Merck Manual of Diagnosis Therapy. I'd say we did say that this was in no particular order, but I have to say from every perspective, this is the top ebook of the year that was released onto R2. It was a leader in content retrievals, licenses added, and also obviously a leader in cost per use because it's free. We're happy to work with Merck to make this available at no cost to our users. This new edition featured 40% new content relative to the previous edition. 36 completely new chapters. Pediatrics and trauma section were significantly revised and expanded. It has key points and also pearls and pitfalls to highlight noteworthy medical info and areas of caution. So this was the 20th edition of the Merck Manual was a big deal, to say the least. We did, coinciding with the release, and you can find this on our YouTube channel, talk with somebody from Merck about the book and kind of the history of the publication that goes back well over 100 years now. But for the 20th edition, they really wanted to make an impact, and I think they did. And once again, we're happy to offer this resource for free on the R2 platform. And just to kind of continue with this, because free open access, those sorts of things are certainly, in our discussions these days. The R2 platform does offer 30 free resources. We added 6 in 2018, including the Merck Manual. These are available to all libraries using R2 with unlimited usage. To add these to your collection, you'll just go into the admin portal, select the free resources special collection, and you can purchase, quote unquote, purchase the books from there. They'll be added instantly to your collection. So that's the presentation. That's the list of the top 10 ebooks. As I undock my dashboard here, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them. And also in your GoToWebinar dashboard, you will see we have an announcement of a flash sale on the resources that we covered today. So we have had a couple questions come in. Do I have to be active on R2 to put these titles on PDA? Okay, so I think that, yeah, so I guess somebody that's a new customer to R2 that's not currently using R2, you don't have to, you can start a collection on R2 via PDA, so you don't have to make a purchase to start a collection. If you're trialing R2, or if R2 is something that you're interested in adding to your platforms and databases, you can start with just PDA, so you don't have to make an initial purchase. Another question, where can I find the stats on my collection? Do I have to request them? No, you don't have to request them. They're in the admin portal. We provide both application level statistics, so for your entire collection, how many resources have been accessed, etc., and then also stats at the resource level, and that's where you'll see cost per use, turnaways, content retrievals at the title level, and those sorts of things. Another question here, you mentioned some of these are free. Do I have to buy ebooks to get free ebooks? No, you can come onto the platform with free ebooks, and you can also just use them to augment your collection. Or if you start with PDA, you can automatically include the free books when you get started. So just kind of however you want to work with. So for instance, the Merck book, that's a very attractive thing to be able to offer at no cost. So if you're not currently using R2, you could start with Merck for free and kind of see how that works, how R2 works, and how your users will access the content. And that would be a good indicator of how well R2 would perform for you on a wider scale. All right, I think those are all the questions. So if you haven't yet, I'll give you another moment to grab the flash sale announcement from the dashboard, or if you aren't able to find it, just shoot me an email and I'll put my email address there. Yeah, my email address is right there, or you can just go to onto R2 and there's a contact us form there should you have any other questions. But thank you again for joining us today, and thank you for using the R2 platform throughout the year again. That's what's really guiding this, so we're happy to be working with you, and then we're happy with the way that you're implementing R2 in your library to help your users access this information, and then in turn help us put this presentation together. So thank you very much, happy holidays, and we will see you next year.